him if you're not doing what he tell you to do. But people say, I don't hate Jesus. You can make your mouth say anything. That's what's wrong with people now. They believe everything that come out of somebody's mouth. Look at the actions. Look at the action. That's how you know that they real now. See if they fasting today. See what they doing today. Go ahead.
Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted.
This is why we take upon this moment. Because we see how he was smitten and afflicted for us. This is why we take this atonement and we fast. Put a little pain on our body. But we don't like pain. We don't want to deal. If you got to deal with some pain, they run away from it. Pain is put here to make you. And Jesus wants you to feel a little persecution. He wants you to make sure you feel a little hunger. He wants you to be a little hot. He wants you to be a little cold. Experience that. Because in these days coming up, we might have to experience some of that.
That's right. Don't
think it's going to be a smooth transition to the wilderness. It's not. It's going to take you, it's going to take some initiative, it's going to take some people just pushing their way to it. Go ahead.
Verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions.
Mm-hmm.
He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. And
people talking about, how can you tell Jesus in the Old Testament? That's him right here. Who took on the sins on him? Who took our sins on his back? Nobody but Christ.
Amen.
He was wounded for our transgression. He was chastised.
Yes.
By his stripes we are healed. That's only talking about Jesus. It's Jesus right here. Go ahead.
All we like sheep have gone straight.
Mm-hmm.
We have turned every one to his own way.
That's what we're doing.
And the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all.
He said, look what I have took upon myself for you all. I died. If you just gather this in your mind, a God that controls the air, the sun, the wind, who lowered himself and put on human skin and let his creation beat and kill him.
Come on, bro.
That's some humility, man.
What you talking about?
Remember when Jesus told Pilate, he said, if this were my day, my people would fight. My angels would fight down here right now. He took upon his flesh for us. That's the sacrifice. And you can't fast, and I can't fast on this day, or keep these holidays. You don't deserve salvation. I don't deserve salvation if I can't just sacrifice this. Go ahead.
He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth.
Which of us can take upon that? Somebody beating you in the back with a whip, don't say nothing. Killing you, stabbing you in your side with a spear, don't say nothing. He took upon this flesh for us, so he can atone. This is what this day is about. All these things he did for us. People don't know the magnitude of this.
Right, that's right.
Magnitude is very big. That's why he tells us, he said, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard what I got prepared for you all. It's way bigger than what we think. Way bigger. I can't wait to see it. Jump down to verse 10.
Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him.
Mm-hmm.
He has put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
The pleasure of the Lord shall prosper. It's pleasurable for the Lord to see us prosper in his word, in his book, to follow this. God, he said, I can protect you. I can put them angels outside of your house now. I can put them angels outside of your car now. When you flipped over, you didn't die. He didn't say the weapon wouldn't form up. He said it wouldn't prosper. You didn't die in that car accident. People say, well, he must have did something. Well, I must have did something right. I didn't die. You looking at the car. I ain't worried about no car. I'm worried about my life. That's what people think it's going to be, like a smooth sailing wall. Man, we devil trying to kill us every day. Every day. Go ahead.
He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied by his knowledge. Shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities.
That's what that scapegoat did. Bear the iniquity. That's what Jesus did. Same exact thing. We just follow the trail. It's a trail. Like I said, it's cryptic if you don't understand the old and go into the new. That's it. Let's go to the new. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 9 and 1. Just understand what we're doing, how our Lord and Savior sacrificed himself on this high holy day. He made an atonement for us. He reconciled life for this human body. Because we were dead, bro. Sealed in the death, boy. I appreciate it. The more and more each year I learn about these days, it get easier. Only thing I can bring about these whole days is almost say what I need to say right according to the scriptures. It's like, I'm telling you, it's like me preparation for a game. I get nervous. Still get these jitterbugs sometimes when I stand before you, because I'm not just saying, if you, I know the Lord is right in this room. He listens to me. Holding that angel back. If I'm doing something wrong, he'll send him on. Let's look at the New Testament and the priesthood and how it was mixed up a little bit, but it was still the same. Let's show you what I mean by mixed up. Go ahead. Hebrews chapter 9 verse 1. Go ahead.
Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and a worldly sanctuary.
So the first covenant had ordinance of a worldly sanctuary, meaning that these services of the lambs, goats, turtle doves, all that stuff they had to offer, this is stuff he did for the first covenant. But go ahead.
For there was a tabernacle made, the first, wherein was the candlestick and the table and the showbread, which is called the sanctuary.
This is what Moses and Aaron, all them did in that day when they was in the wilderness. This is when he took up animal sacrifices. Go ahead.
And after the second veil, the tabernacle, which is called the holiest of all, which had the golden censer and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold, wherein was the golden pot that had manna, and Aaron's rod that budded, and the tables of the covenant.
This was that box. I always say, look at Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. We always look for the Ark of the Covenant. That's what Israel had, the Ark. That's what they power. That's what God communed with them, talked with them. It was behind the veil. That's where the priest had to go in one time a year and offer up their blood. Same exact thing. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. Jump down to verse 6.
Now when these things were thus ordained, the priest went always into the first tabernacle, accomplishing the service of God.
Yes, sir.
But into the second went the high priest alone once every year, not without blood, which he offered for himself and for the errors of the people.
When is that? The Day of Atonement. He talking about this day right here. This is when the priest went one time a year. We doing this one time a year. Fasting. Go ahead.
The Holy Ghost is signifying that the way into the holiest of all was not yet made manifest, while as the first tabernacle was yet standing.
First tabernacle yet standing. They still were going off of old orders, but when Christ came, the veil of the temple ripped down. They didn't have to do animal sacrifices. So we're moving into the second covenant. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Which was a figure for the time then present.
It was a figure, meaning it was a shadow for the real thing to come. And the real thing is Jesus. Go ahead.
In which was offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that did the service perfect as pertaining to the conscience.
That was it was a figure back then. It couldn't make us perfect. So Christ had to come himself to make us perfect. By his blood. Go ahead.
which stood only in meats and drinks, and divers washings, and carnal ordinances imposed on them until the time of Reformation.
What is the time of Reformation? When Christ comes, he
That's
reformed the whole ordinance of the sanctuary.
right. Exactly.
Go ahead, he gonna tell you here.
But Christ being come and high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle,
Yes, sir.
not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building.
When Christ came, he didn't have to operate like the Levitical priesthood. He didn't have to wash animals and offer blood because he went one time and died for us, and that was it.
That's right.
So you didn't have to do that. Go ahead.
Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us.
And he's still doing the same thing. Just like the Levitical priest did back then, Jesus doing it now. That's why we read in 1 John chapter 2. He's our advocate with the Father. When we had back then with the Levitical priest, they was our advocate and bringing us close to the Father. Jesus is our high priest according to the order of Melchizedek. He was Melchizedek. This is what Jesus done for us. He's our advocate. We can't get nowhere without him. Go ahead.
For if the blood of bulls and of goats, and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctifies to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ?
So he compared the blood of bulls and goats. He said that wasn't perfect enough. He said, how much more the blood of Christ when he came to atone for us? That was perfect. Go ahead.
Who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God.
Yes, sir.
Purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God.
Them were dead works back then, animal sacrifice. But now, these are living works right now. Because Christ is living for us. Go ahead.
Oh, you skipping 18?
Yeah, verse 18. Jump down to verse 18. I'm just giving you, so you'll understand this New Testament. We went back to the Old, so when you go to New Testament, you know exactly the way the priesthood operated. It's operating the same way. But plug Christ in where you see blood or sacrificing. He did all that. We don't have to do that no more, but we still got to perform these ordinances. Go ahead.
18. Whereupon neither the first testament was dedicated without blood. For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law,
Yes, sir.
he took the blood of calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop, and sprinkled both the book and all the people.
This is what the old ordinance did. He sprinkled their blood. Go ahead.
Saying, this is the blood of the testament which God has enjoined unto you.
That what Moses and Aaron did back then. Go ahead.
Moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry.
Go ahead.
And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission.
This is why Jesus had to die. Everything, if you go to Leviticus chapter 4, it tells you about how the sacrifice of blood has to be administered to get sin forgiven. Jesus had to die and spread his blood over us so we can get our sin forgiven. Same exact thing. Go ahead.
It was therefore necessary that the patterns of things in the heavens should be purified with these. But the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these.
Better sacrifice. That's Christ. Go ahead.
For Christ has not entered into the holy places made with hands.
What did Christ enter?
In the heaven.
In the heaven. What did that scapegoat enter? Enter the land inhabited. Same exact thing. Follow me now. I ain't lost my place. Go ahead.
For Christ has not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the truth, but into heaven itself, not to appear in the presence of God for us.
That's what he told Aaron to take that scapegoat out to the wilderness or the land that is inhabited. Same exact thing. Keep going.
Not yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entereth into the holy places every year with the blood of others. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now, once in the end of the world, has he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself.
He said, I'm only going to do this one time.
Awesome.
Once.
That's awesome.
But he didn't, with the old ordinance of doing things back then, they had to come in every year to do the same exact thing. Christ took over that part. He offered up. He don't have to offer up nothing but one time. He'll offer about one time for our sin to be forgiven. Go ahead.
And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment.
Yes, sir.
So Christ was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation.
Same exact thing that scapegoat did. Went off in the wilderness, uninhabited, one time. Just like one time a year, just like Christ said, I'm only going to do this one time. Period. That's it. The old way is done away with, how I handle getting forgiveness of sin. He's giving you this in Hebrews chapter 9, how he did in the old, and he bring it up to the new, where he took upon himself to be that sacrifice.
Come on, bro.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 1. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 1. But when you throw away the law without understanding of the Old Testament or the priesthood, and not understand the priesthood, you throw away your knowledge. This is where they go, these Sunday church people go right now and try to do away with the law. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 1. Let's look at this. Go ahead.
For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, and never with these sacrifices which they offer year by year continually make the comers thereunto perfect.
He said, for the law is a shadow of good things to come. What law is he talking about? Sacrificial law. What good things to come? Christ.
That's right.
He shadowed the goat. Both of them, the scapegoat and live goat, he shadowed that. He fulfilled that part. He shadowed the Passover lamb. He shadowed all this in the high holy days. This is what he tells us later, for that law was a shadow of good things to come, which is Christ coming. Go ahead.
For then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers once purged should have had no more conscience of sins.
Go ahead.
But in those sacrifices there is a remembrance again made of sins every year.
That's those sacrifices that the high priest Aaron did every year. It still was a remembrance. But when Jesus forgive you your sin, he throw them in the sea of forgiveness. He don't remember no more. Go ahead.
For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world,
who cometh to the world? Jesus coming to the world.
He says, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me.
Do this sound like the Ten Commandments? Or do this sound like animal sacrifice? They would, these Sunday churches would take you to this way and say, this is where Jesus did away with the law, the commandments. All this is talking about the animal sacrifice. Keep going.
In burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin, thou hast had no pleasure.
God didn't want to offer animal sacrifices for sin. He did not like that. But he had to have blood. Just like when Adam and Eve sinned, he had to kill or sacrifice to cover their sins. They cover, how you think they got the closest skin? He had to kill an animal. Same exact thing. All the way back from Adam and Eve, Moses, all the way down in Paul and them days. Same exact thing. Keep going.
Verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me.
Everything is written of Jesus in this book. Everything. Go ahead.
To do thy will, O God. Above when he said, sacrifice and offering with burnt offerings and offerings for sin thou wouldest not, neither has pleasure therein, which are offered by the law.
So what law is that? The sacrificial law. If you're dealing with some Sunday people, they're going to take you to this, so we covering this. Now this is what they go right here. Verse 9, go ahead.
Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second.
See, God took away them old laws, yeah? The commandments and stuff he gave us too. Love God with all your heart, love your neighbor as yourself. This is what they try to put that on. This is not what he's talking about. He took away the animal sacrifice law. The first thing he told us to get how to get remission of sin, and he established his second by Jesus' body. Go ahead.
By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all.
Once and for all. Go ahead.
And every priest standing daily ministering and offering oftentimes the same sacrifices which can never take away sin.
So if you got people out here who taking up lambs and sheep for sins, if you look over there in Israel now, they are trained the Levitical priests to offer blood sacrifices right now. And you know they're preparing for this so-called Jesus, but the man of sin gonna come in and tell them, y'all can stop that and I'm gonna sacrifice. Christ is here. They're doing that right now. Got white Levitical priests trained to kill animal sacrifice. And when the man of sin come up, we say, oh, okay, he white. So he must be Jesus. And he gonna have power. A lot of power. Go ahead.
13. From henceforth expect until his enemies be made his footstool.
Yes, sir. We waiting on that day when his enemies be made his footstool. Let's go. This is the last one. Let's go to John chapter 6 and verse 44. We just want to make sure you understand how important for us not to eat or drink on this day because of what Christ done for us, which is offering up his body, get beat, whipped, slaughtered, all for us, and we want to get mad because we can't fast for one day? Come on, man. Come on.
Skip verse 12.
You did?
Yeah, I'll skip it. You want to read that. And just read those two verses again.
Yeah, just read it.
Okay.
He's still in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 1.
And I skipped 12, I'm sorry, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God.
Yes, sir.
From henceforth expecting till his enemies be made his footstool.
This is what it's all about. Christ. Let's go to John chapter 6 and verse 44. Can't no man come to the Father, I'm telling you, without keeping these laws and remembering Christ. Christ is all in this. Jesus is all in this.
Yes, amen.
He fulfilling his part. John chapter 6 and verse 44. Go ahead.
No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
So if you hear